Welcome back to Joy News Days. The former rector of the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, Prof.Steve Adei, may be summoned to appear before Parliament to defend his claim that many MPs are corrupt. About a month ago, Professor Adei was in the news for suggesting that MPs take bribes before passing bills. Majority Chief Whip Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak tells parliamentary correspondent Elton Brobe the leadership is working towards getting Professor Adei to substantiate his allegation.
Professor Steve Adei should know they are elderly statesmen and women of our country. I don't want to believe that Prof, if he had walked in here, comes to book an appointment, even without an appointment, that he wants to see the minority leader. The minority leader will turn him away. He wants to see the majority leader. The majority leader will turn him away. He wants to see the speaker. Even without an appointment, I want to believe the lack of Professor Adei will be giving audience even without an appointment. And I thought in nation building, it is not about chastising. It is about trying to get a system run the way we should all expect it. I would have expected Professor Adei to walk in here and come and launch a complaint that when they were doing the Gimpa bill, and that I believe that would have been the education committee, this and this and this transpired. And I want to believe the speaker or the leaders will have taken it up very, very, very seriously. There have been a number of times that people have come to make some complaints, and we will immediately, sometimes even in the absence of the leaders, we the whips, we immediately begin to query and question just to be able to get things straightened up. So I want to wait because the speaker will have to decide what needs to be done. Yesterday I heard my colleague, the deputy minority leader, making some assurances that he will definitely be invited. I cannot guarantee that, having been in any meeting where this has been discussed. But I want to plead with the like of Professor Steve Adei. They should know they are elderly state people. People are looking up to them. And then you make sweeping statement. It is very hurting because you see, we are 275. Even if 270 of us are doing the wrong thing, and there's some 5 who are doing genuinely sincere and honest work, and you lump all, you are not being fair to that 5. Not alone, I can put my life online to say those who may be doing without admitting the guilt, because he's saying, Gimpa, I'm not a member of the education committee, I'll not be able to attest whether when the committee they were sent to anywhere, whether they were giving lunch, whether they were giving anything, I will not be able to attest to that. But to say, I want to believe those who may be doing some wrong, may be very few, that if together with the like of Professor Steve Adei, we put our heads together, we'll be able to easily fish out those ones. So I'll be able to deal with it so that the system could be able to run. Because look, without parliament, there'll be no parliament, there'll be no democracy.
There is now a one-stop shop to help the public process land documents faster. The Client Service Access Unit established by the Land Commission is also to ensure transparency in land service delivery. The new unit will receive and vet applications against set requirement and checklists.
The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Neo Samuels, said the Client Service Access Unit was established to improve the land administration system in the country by providing efficient land management systems and reducing all sorts of transactions at the Land Commission.
So this Customer Access Unit is designed in such a way that when you hand over your documents and your requests and so on, you go away. Then you receive messages by text and so on to invite you to come back and to be told what you need to be told. Some of the information will go to you by text, and you know it immediately. But if you have to come personally, you come personally. And this will cut out the up and down, the seesaw up and down. You know the nursery rhyme, no more seesaw up and down. So you'll be hearing on the radio and the TV and so on very soon a few adverts and songs that more or less teach you that you can now rely on the Customer Access Unit to take care of your business for you as you relax and do your actual day-to-day activities somewhere else, and all will be taken care of. So you don't need to spend a lot of money coming back and forth and then paying paying all kinds of money. That will be a thing of the past.
World Bank Country Director Henry Kerali spoke about the essence of the new unit.
This is only a first step in many steps to go, but a very important step in improving the quality of service to the public. As the Minister said, this will ensure that the time it takes to process your land title and your land deeds will be shortened. But there are still other things to be done. The legal framework still needs to be improved. We also still need what we call the back-end office. We also need to be able to connect to other services. That the World Bank will remain a strong supporter of Ghana, a strong supporter of the ministry, and a strong supporter of the Lands Commission to ensure that we accompany you all the way along the journey until everything is done.
The Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission, Dr. Wilfred K. Enim Odame, also spoke about the effectiveness of the new unit.
Our biggest challenge to ensure that the CSAU works effectively, what's going to happen at the CSAU is a platform that will allow all Ghanaians, the public, to submit their documents. The documents will be screened. We have a checklist. So every document that you submit at the CSAU will be matched against the checklist. We only accept your document if your document is in line with the checklist. So this is an information to the general public. Before you submit your document to the Lands Commission for processing as from today, if you're not too sure, please come to the Client Service and Access Unit and pick the checklist and walk through the checklist to make sure that your document conforms with the requirement. Once your document is received, our officers at the CSAU will first and foremost scan the document. So we are going to transform your document from the paper environment onto a digital platform.
The Commission says it has made its service a lot simpler and some processes can be completed in a short time. Executive Secretary Dr. Wilfred Enim Odame and Chief Land Administrative Officer Ben Arthur spoke to my colleague Mamavio Uzo-Abuaji on the AM show.
There should be a ground rent, there should be an effective date, it should be signed by the parties, the site plan should be approved by should be signed by a license surveyor, approved by the Director of Survey. These are requirements. In the past, the Lands Commission took on board documents. Some of them cannot be registered because of lack of information.
But whose fault is that?
Your fault. You have entered into an agreement.
An officer accepted it.
That is why now we are putting the burden on you. Before you come to us, come clean. Ensure that your document is ready to be registered.
With our new system, for now, you would have a job number that at any time that you inquire from us with that job number, we will be able to give you information how far your processes have gone. As part of the project, we are developing what we call the Ghana Enterprise Land Information Systems, which is going to further apply more technology to what we do. And when we are able to achieve that, you would be able to track your processes online. The fees are different for each service. So we are going to publish the fees for each service, make them as readily available to the general public as much as possible. When you walk into the client service unit, you'll find a screen there that is displaying all the fees. So what we are trying to do is to consolidate the fees that are required for the entire process, so you make that payment once. And for each CSAU, there's an on-site bank where at the front desk, once you present your document or your application, it is assessed, vetted, and the bill issued to you right there. You walk to the bank and make the payment right at the CSAU.
Oh, so you're not exchanging, I mean, you're not giving cash?
No, you go straight to the bank right there and make direct payments into the bank. Bring back the slip to any of the tellers on the counter. And then once an acknowledgement receipt is given to you, you are done with the payment and with your submission.
You don't need a middleman. Once you can read your document.
But do you also understand that sometimes the officers, some of the officers would want to be sorted out so that they can fast track your things for you?
Yeah.
Because sometimes these are not outsiders, these are people who are working on the documents.
Yes, it was easier for the middlemen because they had to go from one office to the other, following up on the documents. And in most cases, in the times past when you get to the Lands Commission, you have to know an officer to hand over your documents. So if you ask a lot of the middlemen, they have individual staff there that they go in and hand in the documents to before they see it through. But this time, that officer cannot receive the document. Even if he does, he has no option but to bring it to the CSAU. Because you know what, the tracking numbers that we have, which will reflect as a file number or a document number or a code for the specific document, can only be issued from the CSAU and nowhere else.
You're watching Joy News Desk with me, Stephen Adei, and we'll take a break here. We'll be right back with business. Do stay.